Welcome to another edition of commercial stories with Joe Piconi. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite commercials from the 80s and 90s, and it is, of course, Apple Cinnamon Cheerios. Yes, and I'm not a big Cheerios guy. I kind of think that they're disgusting. But I did want to talk about Apple Cinnamon Cheerios because that commercial left a huge impression on me as a kid. And basically, my whole personality is based off of the Apple Cinnamon Cheerios commercial brand. So, to begin, I would like to talk a little bit about Cheerios and the Apple Cinnamon version of their cereal. Cheerios is a General's Mills. What they did good was they just stuck to the product for a long time. They may have introduced a honey nut version here and there. They would tease people with their honey nut version, but they didn't start really getting into the different varieties until about 1988, when probably a very smart person came up with the idea of including apples and cinnamon into the Cheerio recipe. I'm going to show you a little bit of footage and we can talk about what's happening. Let's see if it's working, if the commercial is making me want to buy it. Is it not succeeding in that area? So we'll find out after the commercial break.
Have you heard what Cheerios has been up to?
So it looks like we've caught up with this guy at a really inopportune moment, but he is still kind enough to talk to us a little bit about Apple Cinnamon's Cheerios.
Heard about a new Cheerios?
Then they show us the famous apples being sliced in midair, ground cinnamon being ground, and this imagery of cinnamon sticks being ground like this sticks with the Apple Cinnamon brand, Cheerio brand, for years to come. They can't really get rid of it because this is what makes Apple Cinnamon Cheerios so successful. And the marketers know this. They know that people like to see cinnamon being ground. They like to see the apples being sliced in midair. You'll see that later on they'll say, "Oh, what's so great about this cereal? Oh, it's baked. It tastes like apples being baked. It's baked in." That was their slogan. It's baked in. The little girl would say, "Oh, it's baked in." What, you can't read? I can read. I'm a little girl and I can read. It's baked in. It's right on the box. So they're really smart when they're showing the cinnamon and the apples being sliced, because that's what consumers want most.
Listen to the sounds of a whole new Apple Cinnamon Cheerio.
Another thing I'd like to mention is that they show a little boy saying the famous "listen." Listen. What a great way to get your attention. Listen. It makes you do just that. Now the little boy is saying listen as if there's something that we're missing, that only kids can hear, that only children are capable of hearing, like a fairy or a ghost. And he's telling us, listen. Now, is it the sound of apples being crunched? Listen to the sound of a whole new O. What else is very interesting is that they use the word new, because this is a new product. You'll see later on that they use the word "nother" or "other." I'm not sure if they use "nother" or "other," because "nother" isn't I think that they use other, but there might be a rare outtake where they say nother. What I love about this little kid is that his ability to not only get you to listen, but also to introduce what was another marketing technique at the time, which was to pretend to be markering in the shape of an apple. They couldn't do this with an adult. They needed a child because children love using markers. So they use this marker, and the marker is marking these diagonal marks on the paper, and that creates the Apple logo. I love it. How original, and aren't you more interested in buying it now? So the child is great. We get the apples, we get the cinnamon. Let's see what else is next.
New Apple Cinnamon Cheerios is real apples, whole grain oats, and cinnamon. And it tastes as great as it sounds.
Listen to the sounds of a whole new world.
Listen.
Okay, I just watched, and there really isn't that much more I can say about it. I think that they got the basic idea in the first 10 seconds of the commercial. It's made with apples. It tastes like apple cinnamon, and you put it in milk. That's about it. The only added features that make me want to buy it were the sound effects that they used, which were really cool, especially at the time. It sounded like a balloon being rubbed very quickly, but it worked. And I probably did ask my mom to buy it. Do I like Apple Cinnamon Cheerios? No. I hate Cheerios so much. There's really nothing besides cut okra that I hate more than Cheerios. But the commercial was a stroke of genius. I'll probably be going over more Apple Cinnamon Cheerios commercials in the future. But for now, thanks for watching. I do really appreciate it.